Now let's focus on the description of both types of intransitive verbs. Let's start with the description of negative verbs. We will describe this verb type with the sentence Ron is crying. First, as you know, we should state the type of word it is. So we can say the word crying is a verb. Secondly, we describe morphological criteria. This is, according to morphological criteria, it is a verb because it contains the inflectional suffix ing, typically in verbs in the progressive form, such as playing, studying, and cooking. In this case, it is selected as complement by the link verb be in the present tense to form the present progressive. Thirdly, we describe the type and number of arguments the verb selects and the theta roles assigned to them. This is, according to the semantic classification, crying is an intransitive and negative verb because it selects one argument, the DP Ron, which is the external argument. The external argument receives the theta role of experiencer. Finally, we describe the syntactic functions the arguments have. So, we say, for instance, the DP Ron functions as the subject of the sentence. Let's see now the description of an accusative verbs of motion. We will describe this verb type with the sentence the Hogwarts Express goes from King Cross Station to Hogwarts. First, we should state the type of word it is. So we can say the verb goes is a verb. Secondly, we describe morphological criteria. This is, according to morphological criteria, it is a verb because it contains the inflectional suffix es, typically in verbs in the third person singular in the present tense, such as watches, washes, fixes. Thirdly, we describe the type and number of arguments the verb selects and the theta roles assigned to them. This is, according to the semantic classification, goes is an intransitive and accusative verb of movement, and it selects three arguments, the DB, the Hogwarts Express, which is an internal argument, and the PPs from King Cross Station and to Hogwarts, which are also internal arguments. The DP internal argument receives the theta role of theme, and the PP from King Cross Station receives the theta role of source, and the PP to Hogwarts receives the theta role of goal. Finally, we describe the syntactic functions the arguments have. So we say the DP, the Hogwarts Express, functions as the subject of the sentence, and both PPs function as complements.
Let's see now the description of an accusative verb of appearance or existence. We will use the sentence Nearly headless Nick appeared during dinner. First, as you know, we need to describe the type of word, so we can say the word appeared is a verb. Secondly, we will describe morphological criteria, so we can say, according to morphological criteria, it is a verb because it contains the inflectional suffix ed, typically in regular verbs in the past, such as stopped, cooked, stayed, etc. Thirdly, we will describe the number and type of arguments and their theta roles. So we can say, according to the semantic classification, appeared is an intransitive and accusative verb of appearance, and it selects one argument, the DP nearly headless Nick, which is an internal argument. The internal argument receives the theta role of theme. Finally, we will describe the syntactic functions the arguments have. So we may say, for instance, the DP nearly headless Nick functions as the subject of the sentence. Similarly, with ergative verbs, we will follow the same steps. In this case, we will describe the sentence, the feather levitated. So one type of word, the word levitated is a verb. 2. Morphological criteria. According to morphological criteria, it is a verb because it contains the inflectional suffix -d, typically in regular verbs in the past, such as danced, liked, placed, etc. 3. Number and type of arguments, theta roles. According to the semantic classification, levitated is an intransitive and accusative verb because it selects one argument, the DB, the further, which is an internal argument. The internal argument, the DB, the further, receives the theta role of patient. Finally, we finish the description with the syntactic functions. So we say, the DB, the further, functions as the subject of the sentence.
And now that we have finished, when it comes to intransitive verbs, are you on Hermione's or Ron's team? So let's reflect a bit. And this is the homework for next class. You can do it in pairs, groups, or individually. Be ready to share them in class.